Hey everyone, welcome back. So, yesterday the Supreme Court overturned affirmative action. It took a day to read through the decision, and needless to say, there are going to be a lot of negative consequences from this case. However, the one positive that I've seen has been all of the colleges and universities that have come forward and committed themselves to maintaining a diverse student body. And in order to make a more positive video in what is otherwise a very negative moment, I wanted to discuss two different ways that colleges might actually be able to work around this Supreme Court decision and continue to have a diverse and inclusive admissions process. The first option colleges have actually comes directly from the majority opinion written by Chief Justice John Roberts. On page 47 of the decision, Justice Roberts writes, "Nothing in this opinion should be construed as prohibiting universities from considering an applicant's discussion of how race affected his or her life, be it through discrimination, inspiration, or otherwise." This line gives colleges and universities a pretty simple replacement to affirmative action. All they have to do is add another essay prompt to their application which says something to the effect of, "Describe an instance where you faced a struggle or hardship because of a component of your identity. Parentheses, for example, race, gender identity, sexual orientation, religion, politics, socioeconomics, etc." And that would give people the opportunity, if they want to discuss how race has impacted them, to do so. And if that's something that colleges find to be valuable for their student body, as they have said repeatedly that they do, the Chief Justice has said that they can weigh that discussion during the admissions process and that there should be no problem with it. So, that's probably going to be the easiest short-term solution for colleges if they want to try and maintain a diverse student body. The other option that schools might have revolves around a clever use of geography. Now, there's actually a lot of precedent for colleges and universities factoring in where an applicant lives as a part of the admissions process. For example, a lot of state schools are required by law to have a certain percentage of their student body be in-state residents. And if you've ever looked at an admissions brochure from one of the more competitive colleges in this country, you'll pretty quickly find that they are very proud of how many states are represented at their school. And admissions personnel will actually set slots aside for states that are generally underrepresented in order to get that number as close to 50 out of 50 as possible. So, an enterprising admissions staff might be able to use geography as a proxy for race. Despite some of the progress that we've made over the last 50 to 60 years, the US is still pretty geographically segregated. For those of you who grew up in the US, I'm sure you knew what neighborhoods around you had what racial breakdowns and how that factored into the different high schools. And colleges know that too. So, when they see a person's address and high school on their application, they can make a pretty good guess as to what race that student might be. And given that there is a lot of precedent for factoring in geography as a part of the admissions process, they can simply say that they're trying to increase their geographical diversity. We're not just looking at the state of Tennessee, we want some students from rural Tennessee, we want some students from Memphis, specifically this zip code, just to shake things up a little bit. Is it going to be perfect? No. And it's going to take a lot of time for them to aggregate all of that data and formally introduce it into the admissions process in a way that makes sense and is consistent, but it might be a valuable way for them to continue to generate diverse student bodies if they're not allowed to directly look at race. Now, of course, in the wake of this Supreme Court decision, we're going to have to wait and see as to whether these colleges and universities actually follow through on the commitments that they're making. However, I'm going to choose to be cautiously optimistic here and hope that these colleges and universities actually do see the value in having an equitable admissions process and a diverse student body, and that they will put policies in place in order to guarantee those benefits to their current and future students. Think about it.